Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 6th. We've made it to the middle of the week, though I had Monday off, so for me it feels more like a Tuesday, but you've made it to the middle of the week. This is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. Temperature highs today will be in the upper 90s, but it'll feel like 104. The intense heat is expected to stick around with possible 100-degree days on the horizon. The CDC lists COVID cases in Texas as growing or likely to grow, partly because of the NIMBUS variant. What you need to know about that variant after today's news. Some Dallas area rapid transit passengers say they have safety concerns after a fire on a train downtown injured 15 people last week. Rosalind Morr had ridden DART for more than 25 years. She said she feels uneasy after the incident. Morr also said her daily commute was disrupted while service was being restored. The National Transportation Safety Board told KERA in a statement that it's still investigating the cause of the fire and will release a preliminary report in about 30 days. The Dallas Court of Appeals says former state representative Frederick Frazier can sue his former political opponent for defamation. Frazier's suing Paul Chabot over what he claims are untrue statements on his Political Action Committee's website during the 2024 primary. Chabot's attorney plans to appeal the ruling. This comes after Chabot lost against Frazier in the 2022 Republican primary to represent Texas House District 61. Chabot later accused Frazier of stealing his campaign signs, but an appeals court dismissed the charges. The CDC is reporting a seasonal surge in COVID-19 cases in a majority of states, with Texas listed as growing or likely to grow. Much of that activity stems from the NB 1.8.1 variant, also known as NIMBUS. Dr. Trish Pearl, an infectious disease specialist with UT Southwestern Medical Center, talked with KERA's Sam Bekah about what you should know about NIMBUS.
This variant binds well to the ACE2 inhibitor, which is the receptor that the SARS-CoV-2 strains bind to, which makes it more infectious. And in the lab studies, it's about 2.5 times more infectious than the previous strain. So it's spreading very rapidly.
Does it cause more severe illness than past variants?
Thus far, the data does not suggest that at all. The data suggests a respiratory-like illness. It has some very special symptoms, if you will, but any of these can be cause serious disease in the right host. So in high-risk people, it could certainly cause serious disease.
Speaking of the symptoms, the one that's getting a lot of attention is this so-called razor blade sore throat. I know sore throat has been a symptom of COVID before, but what stands out about this one?
The other symptoms, the cough, the fever, the chills, all of that we've seen in the past, but it's really that it's got a much more prominent sore throat. The other thing that we're hearing and seeing a little bit is that there are more gastrointestinal symptoms. So some people may present with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or even the flip side with bloating and constipation. So it does have a little bit of a different, what we'll say, constellation of symptoms.
There's still another variant out there. I believe it's called Stratus.
So also a descendant of Omicron. This particular variant was first identified actually in Canada. It's not as much of a player in the U.S., I think about 30%, similar symptoms, not as infectious as the NIMBUS strain, but is a little better in evading the immune system.
Do the current COVID vaccines stand up to NIMBUS?
It's a little early to know exactly how effective these vaccines will be, but based on laboratory data, maybe not 100% effective. They may actually just prevent severe disease, which is really what some of the other vaccines have done. They haven't necessarily impeded you from getting the disease, but they've prevented the really serious consequences.
That said, beyond or apart from vaccines, how do we protect ourselves against NIMBUS?
This is like all respiratory viruses, right? You sort of need to be very vigilant, especially in crowded situations. That's where a lot of the transmission occurs, in homes, etc. Washing your hands is very important. Making sure that you get adequate sleep, that you're eating well, etc. And then finally, if you're going into these high-risk situations where there are a lot of individuals, you can consider wearing masks.
The CDC lists Texas among the states where COVID cases are growing. Why Texas ahead of other states?
I don't know that there is data behind it. I can tell you that there are interesting associations. For example, Texas starts seeing influenza before the rest of the country. It may be something about our geography also. The other thing that's interesting is that right now there's a little bit more COVID activity down in Houston than there is in North Texas. So is it warmer weather? Is it that people are inside more and it's just we've really gotten into the heat? Is it something about the humidity? All of which are factors that have been thought to contribute to some of the transmission. I don't know, but that could be part of what is contributing to this.
That was KERA Sam Baker speaking with Dr. Trish Pearl from UT Southwestern Medical Center. In sports, the Dallas Wings lost against the New York Liberty last night, 85-76, and the Rangers play Game 3 against the New York Yankees tonight in their series. So far, the Rangers are up 2 games and are going for the sweep tonight. Brooklyn-raised songstress Regina Spektor is performing tonight at the Majestic Theater as part of her Midsummer Daydream Tour. Known for her whimsical singing and masterful piano playing, Spektor has landed in Texas for the first time in over a decade. For tickets and to find other fun things to do, visit our Go See DFW calendar at kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter. You'll get a more in-depth look into the news with plenty of good morning vibes. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Stay cool, and we'll see you tomorrow.